Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a long hiatus and I will explain myself to my tens of fans out there. I've been house sitting, haven't had my setup. Um, that's been a major factor here. Moving forward, I'm going to have the potential to do a lot more videos. I got a new job, which the hours are a lot more conducive to recording videos right after games, which is the big holdup. This is going to be sort of a first half of the season wrap up, how the team's looking through the first half before the All-Star break. What to look forward to in the second half. I'm thinking about doing another video about the outcomes of the draft. Cade Anderson drafted third overall. I can't believe that he fell to 3 with the coaching staff and the history of developing pitching in the Mariners system. I just am so excited about this pick. We got ourselves a good one in Cade Anderson. So I'll have another video coming out pretty soon when the draft ends. But let's talk about the Major League team. What a turn of events in the last week. Let's start there. So get swept in New York. Bryan Woo goes 7 no-hit innings and they lose a 5-run lead in that game. And at that point, that felt like a low point in the season, which is saying a lot because, not too long ago, the Mariners got swept by the Diamondbacks. They got swept by the Blue Jays at home after winning 9 straight series. There have been some points in this year where you just sit there and go, how is this a playoff team? And then they go into Detroit and they score 35 runs and sweep the Tigers, the best team in the league by record at least. Maybe not skill level, we'll see. They beat last year's Cy Young winner and a Cy Young frontrunner, if there ever was one, in Tarik Skubal. Second time this season that the Mariners have found a way to beat Tarik Skubal. And then another All-Star in Casey Mize, they take him out after 3 innings because the Mariners score 6 runs off of him. Just an incredible series. Julio's getting hot. I'm going to talk about some individual achievements from the first half. Let's start with where we're at in the standings and sort of the game plan for the Mariners to make it to the postseason. Now, obviously, the best possible outcome would be to win the AL West. And if you would have asked me a week and a half ago, I would say that is an impossibility. But the Astros have scuffled over their last 6 games, and the Mariners have gone 3-3 in that time. They're now only 5 games back of the Astros, and to start the second half of the season, they have a home series against Houston. I don't think they're going to sweep that series, but you can gain a game there if you win 2 out of 3. And then you have 2 more months of baseball to make up ground against the Astros. This is an Astros team that has been playing, I think if you ask anyone, baseball insiders, just about anyone, they are playing above their skill level the last 2 months. Like, this team, with how many injuries they've had, with how many people left in free agency, they should have not have been the hottest team in baseball for 2 months. They're a talented team, and until the Mariners find a way to win the AL West, they are going to be the gold standard in this division. But there's no person in baseball that's going to say the Houston Astros have the ability to have longevity this season. They lost Kyle Tucker. Yordan Alvarez has been injured. Jose Altuve is on his last legs. They have a rookie starting in right field. And they're really built on the backs of their pitching, their starters, and bullpen. And their bullpen is one of the best in the league, don't get me wrong. But Hunter Brown is having a career year. I expect a little bit of regression. And Framber Valdez, he's been solid year over year, so you're just going to have to put up with that. I guess the point of what I'm saying is, if the Mariners go and acquire a couple bats, or maybe a bat and an arm at the deadline, I think these are 2 teams that are at a pretty even level of competition. And if the Mariners can just stay consistent, I think there's a chance they can still win the AL West. I don't think the Rangers or the Angels are true contenders this year. with that being said, that is not the most realistic path to the playoffs. Right now, as the first half ends, the Mariners are in the 3 spot in the wild card. The Boston Red Sox have one of the most difficult strengths of schedule in the second half, and they are right ahead of the Mariners. The Tampa Bay Rays are a very young team, and they have a lot of talent, and they're playing well. But with young teams, the question is always, how sustainable is this? When push comes to shove, are they going to perform? And the Rays are right behind the Mariners. The Yankees and Blue Jays have shown that they are very solid teams. I hope that the Mariners get that second seed, that second wild card seed at worst. Maybe the best wild card seed would be, a home playoff game would be awesome, no doubt about it. But they're just 5 games back of Houston, and they're only a game and a half or 2 back of the Red Sox for the second wild card spot. But if the season ended today, they're a playoff team. And I think with their pitching, there's not a lot of other teams that would want to face the Mariners right now. They're not going to put up 35 runs in a series very often. It's just not going to happen. They're built on their pitching, and I'm expecting their pitching to level out in the second half. This team is capable of pulling on your heartstrings. Obviously, getting swept in New York when the Yankees were at an all-time low in their season, not ideal. Losing 2 out of 3 to the Nationals after beating them by 10 in Game 1, not ideal. But I think what they need to do is increase their floor. We know what their ceiling can be. Their ceiling can be sweeping the Detroit Tigers, the best team in the league. But their floor right now is losing two games to the Kansas City Royals, is losing 2 games to the Washington Nationals, is getting swept by the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are clear sellers at the deadline because they're just not a good enough team. So what you need to do is add enough consistency in your lineup. You need to be able to provide them 3, 4, 5 runs a game consistently. We can't have any more of this score 10 runs and then get shut out the next day. It's just not sustainable. Anyway, let's talk about some individual achievements from the first half. Obviously, Cal Raleigh. He hit 38 home runs in the first half of the season. That is unprecedented from a catcher. It's the most from a catcher in the first half by a long shot. And you know what? He had a shot at 39, but the Tigers coach, AJ Hinch, intentionally walked him when they were already down by 3. It's like, come on, that's so soft. Give him a shot. Barry Bonds is the only one who's hit more home runs in the first half than Cal Raleigh. He has 4.8 Baseball Reference WAR, but Cal Raleigh is second in both Fangraphs and Baseball Reference WAR in the league, behind only Aaron Judge. A little side note about Cal Raleigh's season: I know that Aaron Judge is probably going to win the MVP, and we can accept that. If we need to, we can accept that Aaron Judge is having a better season by pure stats. But it is so incredibly hilarious to watch Yankees fans freaking out online because anyone's even mentioning Cal as a potential MVP candidate. It's honestly just rage bait at this point. You go out there and say, "Oh, MVP Cal," and they just freak out in comment sections. They post, Aaron Judge's slash line, batting average, WRC plus, blah 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 blah, as if the Yankees don't have enough accolades. They have to cling on to everything. They know they're losing the division. So Cal Raleigh, he is sporting a 178 WRC plus, 78% better than the rest of the league. Cal Raleigh's on base percentage is up from last year. He's nearly 375 in on base. Obviously, the 38 home runs, incredible. And he's got 10 stolen bases. Let's go to some other Mariners. Julio, he's got 3.9 wins above replacement and on Baseball Reference. We've talked a lot about Julio and how he's not doing it enough with the bat. However, that guy's contract can be earned. He's making like 20 million this year or something. He could earn that with defense alone. I would be perfectly content with him being a slightly below average hitter or a league average hitter and the best center fielder in baseball defensively. But over this last series against the Tigers, he had 3 home runs. He increased his OPS to 731, which is a huge jump. He also had 3 extra base hits in the Yankee series. Discourse around him when he was elected to the All-Star team really fueled him. Because, there's all these other candidates in the outfield that could have made the team, and Julio was elected by the players and coaches to be a reserve. He's up to 14 home runs on the season. Julio is going to have a great second half. I just feel it. He always gets hot in these summer months, and he ends up finishing like top 10 in MVP voting because of how good he is in the second half. Julio would be the greatest player of all time if he could do what he consistently does in the second half, in the first half as well. If he could just be that same player all season long, he would be one of the greatest Mariners, at least, of all time. But he just finds a way to put it together in the second half of the season. I don't know what it is, but you know what? We will take it. Julio's OPS plus is 113. Above league average. Who else did I want to mention? Randy Arozarena, 3.7 WAR, just below Julio, and he's accumulating WAR with the glove as well, not just the bat. I mean, the big knock on Randy has always been doesn't play good enough defense, and there are times where he doesn't hustle. There's a ball down the line, he's just jogging there. There was a time like that today that I thought could be a big part of the outcome of today's game. But he makes a lot of sliding catches. He has a lot of range out there when he hustles. And he's putting together a great season, another all-star for the Mariners. He's got 17 home runs on the year, and his OPS plus is 139, 39% better than the rest of the league. He is having a great first half, and he's gotten hit by 16 pitches already. It's ridiculous. Him and Julio are both hovering around 250. Cal's at 259. And then J.P. Crawford. I gotta mention J.P. Crawford. 3.5 wins above replacement. His on-base percentage is 391, nearly 400. Ridiculous. His slugging percentage is also at 391. Not ideal, but that is not the type of player he is. His OPS plus 132. Most of that is because of the on base that he is. He's getting on base a lot. That really pads his OPS stats. And the batting average 290. Terrific. Dom Canzone's the only one with a better batting average, and he has less than 100 plate appearances, and JP's got 400. So obviously those are going to even out. But those 4 guys have been crucial to this team. Brian Wu on the pitching side is, I have to make sure I get to Wu. I got a Wu jersey today, actually, and he has been terrific. Every single start has been 6 innings or more. His ERA plus is 133. His ERA is 2.75. He's coming off an outing where he had 7 no-hit innings, and the bullpen just did not help him out. Got over 100 strikeouts. He has been the backbone of this rotation this year. His whip, below 1, meaning he's allowing less than a base runner per inning. Incredible. Hits per 9, 6.8. Pretty good, too, for a starter. And he's given up just over 1 home run per 9. He's been pretty dang solid. And Castillo's had a pretty great start to the year as well. There's been some obvious regression with Castillo, right? When we first acquired him in that trade with the Reds in, I think, 2021, he was throwing consistently upper 90s to 100 miles per hour. The velocity is mostly 95 now, some 94. You'll see him get up to 97 when he's feeling good. His home road splits aren't ideal. He pitches way better in T-Mobile. It's a pitcher-friendly ballpark. He's been overall a stabilizing force for this pitching staff when Logan's been hurt. Bryce Miller probably will be hurt for the rest of the year. I don't see a world where they force him to come back. And Kirby missed the majority of the beginning of the season. He missed like the first month or month and a half. So Castillo has been there and he's been solid. I hope to see a little bit more consistency from Castillo in the second half. Kirby has been pretty inconsistent since being back. Logan Gilbert has been nasty, but he just can't get through 6 innings to save his life. Every single outing, it's like 9 strikeouts, 5 innings, 10 strikeouts, 5 innings, and 2 to 4 earned runs. And we need some longevity out of Logan. I think when Logan gets back to being a consistent 6-inning, solid backbone ace of your staff, that is when this team gets dangerous, because then it's not all on Bryan Woo. It's not all on Castillo to go out there every single night and throw 6 innings. We just need to understand the strengths of this team. The strengths are always going to be run prevention, pitching. The offense has been a great bonus, right? It's been already leaps and bounds better than last year. But what's going to get this team deep into the playoffs is going to be pitching, and it always has been. Thank you for listening to my rant. I haven't, made a video in a long time, so hence the reason why I'm still talking. Keep checking on my channel. I'm going to be a lot more consistent now. Watch out for a draft recap. I'll probably do a trade deadline specific video at some point as well. Thank you for watching. Go Mariners. I'm hoping for a strong second half, and I really think this team could be special. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one.